Hi, my people. Welcome back to 100 Days of Data with Miss Mailiana. It's day 29. I am Francisca Mailiana Zonki, your lead tutor for this challenge. So we are still looking at queries and they are going to do multiple sub-queries as well. All right. All right, so you're going to look at two examples and two examples of sub. So we are going to look at two examples of subqueries and then we get to understand it better. So I hope at the end of this video, you get to be able to play around with subqueries and then build your knowledge from there. All right. All right. So we are still on subqueries. And our example, so I'm going to write down we have a table with columns. Column 1 is order ID, so this is columns. We have column ID, we have customer ID, right? Number 3, we have products. Number 4, we have region. Number 5, order date. Number 6, quantity. And number 7, revenue. So as you know, SQL is a tool that helps you actually deal with a lot of business questions, and subquery also helps you do more deep dive business questions, right? Answer business questions. So for example, we have a table that has these columns, right? Order ID, customer ID, product, region, order date, quantity, and revenue. So this is a typical sales table, right? All right, so now we are going to look at a query that's going to give us the information about total revenue per product. So we want to see the total revenue per product. Okay. This is how the query is going to write. Select product, comma. You're going to sum the revenue. All right. So our revenue, we sum it up, we sum the revenue. And we name the sum, right? When you sum it, what's the name you give it? As total product, total revenue. So let's make it total revenue like this, underscore. Then we take it from the sales table. Then now we group by, all right, we group by products. And we order it by total. So our total, always remember your spelling has to be the same. So total underscore revenue in a descending order. So this is a full query for this answer. This is our answer, right? So this is our question and this is our answer. All right, so this is the query that's going to get us total revenue per product. Okay, so you select product, then you sum the revenue. Okay, then you make it, you as you sum it, you have to name the summation. So this is for this, okay, it's for this. You have to name it as total product, and this our table. Then now we have to group it by, so this is another query, and then we order it by another query. So now when someone asks you, or when you go for an interview and asked, okay, we want to see this, like you can speak about it in this format. All right, so this is the very first query we've learned. Picture it. All right, so let's move on to the next one. So today's video is all about writing queries. All right, okay, I claimed my date. Okay, so let's move on. I'm going to skip the origin because it's the same thing. All right, so let's look at average. Let's look at average revenue per order, right? So our question is average revenue per order. All right, so we are looking for the average revenue per order. So that is what the average revenue per order. No, per order. Oh yeah. So now you're going to write select. At this point, you should know that select is for us to see. Okay. All right. Select. Then now this time around, we are not going to take anything from the table, but you are going to calculate. So calculate the average. So select average revenue. Right, so we have to spell it according to the column name. So the column name is capital. Then we name it as what? I'm going to name it as average, like this. Even. This is R. All right. From sales table. So this is going to give us the average. It's going to give us the number of average revenue. That's going to be the table. You're going to see something like E average underscore E, and then the number will be in there on the display, this one. So this is also another query. Okay, let's move on. Let's get a very lengthy one. Products generate. So let's look at it this way. Products generating revenue above of overall average. Right. So let me write that. Our Q is products generating revenue above average, above overall average. So let me write the overall here. So now our query is going to be lengthy, so I'm going to read while we go. So first and foremost, we look at product revenue average. Above is what? Here. All right, so now we are going to select product. All right, then we're going to sum the revenue. Then when we sum, we name it as what? Total revenue. Right? From where? From the sales table. All right, that gives us the product and the sum. We are not done there. We will have to now group it. Right, so now we group by products. Right, group it by products, and we are going to now use, okay, group it by the products having what? Their sum of revenue greater than greater than what? So we say what? Select product, sum the revenue for us, and name that as total revenue. Then now we are taking it from the sales table. Then group it by product, whereby the product is having the sum revenue greater than what? The average, above overall average. So we have to calculate the average in here. So that becomes what? Our subquery. Right, so now you are going to calculate the average. So that's a new subquery going to be select what? Average product. Am I right? Yeah, product revenue. Wait. So product revenue, okay. The average revenue. Product revenue. The pen is giving up on me. So we select the average of product revenue. So, or just revenue, okay. Let's use revenue because it's revenue that is here. So let's just use revenue. Let's not confuse ourselves. All right, revenue from average revenue from sales table. All right, so that's going to give us that. All right, so we can do this, or we can have a lengthy one. Okay, a lengthy one whereby we give a new name for product. So this place becomes, so this, the revenue that it's here, it's going to give you the overall one, which is similar to, I think, one of the queries we did yesterday. But we want overall average. So now we have to do more calculations. So we're going to introduce, I think I'm going to confuse you here, but just take your time. Watch this as many times as possible. All right. Product underscore revenue from select sum of revenue as product underscore revenue from sales, and then group it by products. Okay. Products as product total. And now, okay, this was a very lengthy one, but don't worry, we are going to explain. So let's take it from the question again. The question says product is generating revenue above overall average, right? Above overall average. So we can see two subqueries here. One here, right? So the very first query I've already explained is just giving us the product, the sum of the product, and then the sum of revenue. Now we want to know generating over above, right? So now our capital our greater than comes here. Now we have to calculate for the average revenue by product. Average revenue by product. So we say select average into brackets product underscore revenue, which is not in the columns, right? Which is not here. So where are we taking it from? We are taking it from, and so we are creating another subquery. Select sum revenue as product revenue. So now you've introduced product revenue, and now you're telling SQL that this is how you get the product revenue, right? How to get your product revenue is that you sum the revenue, right, from this from the table, and you group it by the product. That's how you get the product revenue. Then now you can now look for the average. Do you get? I'm taking it again. We are looking for the product the product that generates overall. All right, sorry about that. We are looking for the product that generates revenue above average, overall average. So the major factors here: product revenue, average. Above is what's greater than. So now for the product, we select product, sum the revenue as total revenue from the sales, and group it by product having their revenue, right? So now the revenue that they are having should be greater than the average. So calculating the average is very key. You are not just calculating average by quantity, you are calculating average of the revenue by product. So to do that, we select the average of product revenue. And there's nothing like product revenue here. So we have to create or calculate for the product revenue, which brings us to our second subquery. So our first subquery is this, right? Is this first subquery first. Then our second subquery is this, which is used to calculate the product revenue, right? So we are calculating the product revenue. Select sum of revenue and name it as product revenue from the sales, whereby you group it by the product. Okay, so you group it by the product as product totals, and then that would, so the product total, so in summary, the product total is going to now be used to enter into the revenue. Do you get? And then you find the average. So all this to this is for it's for us to know what the product underscore revenue is all about. Don't worry if you don't understand to this point, just go with what you understand and take it one at a time. As you know, this like you writing a whole paragraph with queries. As you know, I say what SQL is like a language. So if you learn the SO, so you go 3-letter words, 4-letter words, A for apple and all that, there's some time you have to write an essay, and this is one of it. So do not be that confused. When you practice more, you will understand. I hope you understand how to write queries now. We are going to be going into Power BI soon, and we are going to have a project. I'm going to push throw a project to you to do a very quick one to write more queries by yourself, and we're going to call it a wrap today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. We are almost at 50 subscribers. Let's hit 50 subscribers on day 30. 50 subscribers. I'll be so glad to have you all here, and I hope you are learning. Thank you so much for watching, and it's bye for now.